So today was the penultimate match day in the National League North and National League South. There were some big games at both ends of the table. So in this video, we're going to be looking at the National League. The next video will be the National League North and National League South. And I'm also going to do the video in a slightly different format to normal, just changing it up a bit. If you think this is a good idea and you want to see more of this, or if you absolutely hate it and want to go back to the old style, then let me know in the comments down below. So without any further ado, let's get into the video. So we're going to start off in the National League, and Lincoln City, they confirmed the inevitable. They are now the league champions. Congratulations to them. They deserve it. They have been outstanding this season. An unbelievable season, not only in the league, but reaching the 6th round of the FA Cup. Unbelievable from them. And with a 2-1 victory, they came from behind to beat Macclesfield 2 goals from Terry Hawkridge ensured that they are going to win the title. They cannot be caught by Tranmere now. The other results today, Gateshead with an impressive victory away at Boreham Wood, although it doesn't really mean much. Gateshead are now out of the playoff chase. Same with Barrow, they are out of the playoff hunt, but Braintree, they are down in the relegation zone with this result. Bromley versus Guiseley. Bromley, not a lot to play for, but Guiseley, they need the points to stay up. They didn't get that today. They've only got 1 point. They really needed 3, so they'll be disappointed with that. But they have an absolutely huge game on the final day of the season. Only 1 game left. They are playing against Solihull Moors, also in a relegation scrap. What a big 6-pointer that is. Torquay with the biggest upset of the day, a result that I definitely didn't see coming. They've gone away to Dover and won 2-1. 2 goals from Brett Williams was enough for them to take the 3 points away from Dover. It is exactly what Torquay needed at this point in time. They were sat in the relegation zone before today, but as you can see, they have now lifted themselves up to 19th. They are only 1 point clear of safety, but for them, it's a significant jump from 22nd up to 19th. Maidstone drew 2 with Forest Green, 2 teams that haven't got a lot to play for at this stage of the season. Forest Green are guaranteed to be in the playoffs, and Maidstone are well clear of the drop zone now. Aldershot moved up into the playoffs with a 3-0 victory over North Ferriby. Very impressive there. North Ferriby, they are down and they are going to be relegated. Solihull I touched on earlier. They managed to get a 2-0 victory over Eastleigh. Sutton United with an emphatic 5-2 victory over Chester. Chester now, they've been on some awful form recently. As you can see here, 5 losses in a row. And they are really close to the drop zone. They were well clear a while ago, but now they have dragged themselves into a bit of a relegation fight. It's unlikely that they will be pulled into it. They are still far enough clear. I think that it will be unlikely for them to go down, but there is still that outside chance with 1 game to play. Tranmere won 4-1 versus Southport, although Tranmere overall today will be disappointed because they have lost out on the league title after Lincoln got their victory. Woking drew 1-1 with York City, a massive game at the bottom there, and it came out as a draw. York City getting a late equaliser, John Parkin in the 75th minute, getting a point for York, although it wasn't enough to lift them out of that relegation zone. They were out of the relegation zone at the start of today, but they've dropped into it thanks to that draw. So it's going to be a big last game of the season. York City, on their last game, they are playing against Forest Green Rovers at home. There's a similarity this year and last year. Halifax, they found themselves in a similar position, fighting relegation, but actually in the FA Trophy final. Their eyes were more on the FA Trophy final than staying up, unfortunately, as many people would argue, and Halifax ended up getting relegated. Hopefully for York, the same won't happen and they can focus purely on that Forest Green game and then forget about the Macclesfield FA Trophy Wembley final for a while. The last result today in the National League, Paul Benson got a goal for Dagenham and Redbridge to beat Wrexham 1-0. So looking at the league table in full, Lincoln have now confirmed the title. They're 5 points clear of Tranmere, and Tranmere only have 1 game left to play. Forest Green are in 3rd, Dagenham in 4th. Both of those teams are now guaranteed to be in the playoffs, with Aldershot in 5th. Dover, with their loss today, they have taken a massive step away from the playoffs, unbelievably. If they'd won today, they'd be in a pole position to finish in the playoffs, 1 point behind Aldershot with a game in hand and still an extra game to play as well. But they've lost today, and that means that even if they win their game in hand, they are still 1 point behind Aldershot. It is going to be difficult, and it's going to be big on that last day of the season. Aldershot on their final game, they are playing at home to Braintree in the drop zone. Aldershot have one of the best home records in the league, so it's going to be very difficult for Braintree to get anything out of that game. Dover Athletic, they're relying on other results. The result at Aldershot is going to be crucial to them, and they have got to play against Macclesfield and then away at Barrow, a long trip up to Barrow. Will they be able to get the 3 points, because it's going to be absolutely crucial if they want to finish in the playoffs. So Barrow are now out of the playoff race. They're 4 points behind Aldershot with 1 game to play. Everyone from Barrow right down until Solihull have nothing to play for at this stage. Chester are the highest placed side that could mathematically still be relegated, although it is very unlikely. They are 3 points clear of York in 21st with a far superior goal difference, but there is still the outside chance of Chester going down, but for me it's not realistic. Same with Woking. I don't think Woking will go down either, so for me it is down to Torquay, Guiseley, York and Braintree as the relegation scrap for the final day. It's going to be exciting to see which out of those 2 teams is going to stay up, and unfortunately who is going to go down. Let's have a look at the fixtures. So Torquay United, they have won 2 games in a row now, just the sort of form that they need at the end of the season, and they have got a game against North Ferriby, already relegated in 23rd place. They need to win that game, and if I'm being honest, I think they will win it. I think that there's nothing in North Ferriby needing to win it. Yes, there's less pressure on North Ferriby and they could come out with that result, but Torquay, they desperately need that result, and I think that they will pull it out of the bag, and I hope they do, because they've had a horrible season so far, Torquay, and I hope that for the sake of the club, because their owners, there's been some issues with the owners and the new owners taking over, the fans aren't getting behind it. It'll be nice for them to stay up so they can have some optimism going into next season. Guiseley, they've been on some really good form recently, but they've stumbled a bit in recent weeks. Prior to that, they were on some great form, but yeah, recent weeks they haven't got many points. Their last game is against Solihull, as I mentioned earlier, but Guiseley in general this season have been very good at home, so they will take confidence in that. York City, they are playing, as I mentioned earlier, they are playing at home to Forest Green, currently in the playoffs. That is going to be very, very difficult for York City. And Braintree, they have got a very tough away trip to Aldershot, and Aldershot have the 3rd best home record in the league. So if I had to put my money on who is going to stay up, I would say that Torquay and Guiseley are going to stay up. York City, a massive club, getting back-to-back relegations. It is an unthinkable scenario. They've got a big budget, and it'll be unthinkable to really think that they are going to be in the National League North next season. They've been in a relegation fight all season, and we will see where it goes on the last day of the season. Realistically, any of those 4 teams could take up those 2 final relegation spots. Who do you think it's going to be that's going to take those relegation spots up? Let me know in the comments down below. So there you have it. That is it for the National League roundup for the penultimate match day of the season of 2016-17. Who do you think is going to be relegated, and who do you think is going to finish in that final playoff spot in the National League? Make sure you let me know in the comments down below, and let me know what you think of this style of the video. Do you like it? Do you prefer the old style? Let me know in the comments. So as always, if you are not subscribed already, make sure to click that like button and subscribe. And as always, thanks for watching.